What's going on, everyone? I am your host, the Carolina Collector, and in this video, we're going to take a look at an oddball Mitchell and Ness jersey that I've been hunting for, that I've had for several weeks now. And when I got this jersey, it was in really bad shape, and I'm happy that I was able to at least bring it back to life where it's wearable. You don't notice any of the damage that was done to it. I mean, I really had to take care of this jersey. When I saw it on eBay, I knew I had to have it because these don't come around that often. Now, back in the days, I'm sure at the time when this particular jersey came out, I'm sure you could find it in all your local sports shops and things like that. But today, I mean, I've been hunting for it for a while. I finally found one. But then I noticed something quite different because I happen to have another New York Giants jersey from another fella that we'll discuss in a future video. But this jersey here is different, but the same. So I'll get into what that means right now, so to speak. It's a little difficult because Mitchell and Ness, you know, they've always had a reputation of being hit and miss. I know their intention is to try to create a product that emulates what the players themselves would have worn on the field, but it all depends on the timing, whether or not they had access to the actual jersey, you know, if they went off of, if they used photos or video, or depending on where they were manufactured, whether they were made here in the United States or El Salvador or China or wherever. So it's a mishmash. It's a toss-up. It all depends on where these jerseys were manufactured and where they got their information from. But like I said, that jersey you just took a look at and this jersey we're about to look at, they're authentic. But this is one of those jerseys that's the odd man out because of what we're about to take a look at now. But first, let's discuss the man himself. This is a Mark Bavaro Superbowl 25 New York Giants jersey. Bavaro himself was a beast. They used to call him the Sylvester Stallone of the New York Giants. He was big and he was quiet and he would stare you down. Bill Parcells himself was quoted as saying, "Man, that Bavaro, he's something else, isn't he? You know, I wouldn't want to tangle with that guy," or something to that effect. But Bavaro carried several San Francisco 49ers on his back during a San Fran game back in the days. During another game, he broke his jaw out in the field. They wired his jaw shut and he went right back out and played anyway. I mean, this guy was just intense and epitomized what football was like then. I mean, now everybody's getting hurt. Everybody's getting injured. And the Giants are 2-5 right now. They just played the Washington Redskins. I almost said it. I'm not calling them by the C word. They're the Redskins. They will always be the Washington Redskins. I'm not going to get into the politics of all of that nonsense, but to me, they're the Redskins. So the Redskins and the Giants played tonight, and they were wearing their retro jerseys, which I happen to have, and I'll discuss in a future video. The Elite Vapor Daniel Jones jersey. I'm not getting into debates with people about Daniel Jones and the awful season he's been having this year. But that's a topic for another day. And as you can see, with the Elite Vapor versus this jersey, they're fairly close. I mean, Nike did a nice job of really capturing the essence and the feel of their vintage jerseys. But anyway, let's take a closer look at this particular jersey. So again, this is one of those odd man out scenarios where Mitchell and Ness has always been hit and miss. They've always had that reputation of not quite getting it right. You know, I know a lot of you jersey heads like myself, you know, you want to have something that's as close to what the player would have worn as possible. And Mitchell and Ness definitely captures that. But there have been some cases like this where they got it wrong and they, dropped the ball. So this jersey here, for example, is the corrected version of that jersey, except that this is a Phil Simms jersey, and it's got the Spider 43 for Super Bowl 21. But they made all the corrections with this jersey. As you can see, these numbers are heat transferred. These are tackle twill stitched. And there are other differences, which I'll talk about in a future video. I'd rather save that video or a comparison video for later on because I'm really have to get in deep with this thing. But anyway, let's take a look at these details. A lot of you jersey heads will see the differences immediately, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. I mean, I haven't seen these come around on eBay that often. And man, this thing was in bad shape. I actually had to get a lint shaver, and I bought a beard and mustache trimmer just to trim some of the pulls that were starting to appear on this jersey. I mean, it was in really bad shape. I had to use Dreft and Woolite and a microfiber cloth to clean the stains off of this thing. I mean, I'm happy to have it, but man, this thing was so mistreated. The patch probably suffered the worst on this jersey, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. But anyway, let's focus on the tag first. So there's the Mitchell and Ness tag. Philadelphia, PA, made in the USA. Well, at least, the company Mitchell and Ness is here in the States. But when they source out their manufacturing, this one happens to be made in China. Now, this is one of those differences between where one jersey is sized one way and looks one way, and then you take a look at a jersey that was manufactured in El Salvador or Mexico or here in the States or wherever it may be. This is a 48M or 48 medium. It fits like an extra large. Whereas this jersey, which was manufactured later on, and obviously things were corrected, like they got the correct heat transfer numbers. This one also was made in China. This is a later version, but it says 48XL, but it fits a little bit bigger. It fits between an XL and a 2XL. Go figure. But like I said, we'll talk about comparisons in a future video. I just wanted to kind of get into the weird little nuances about some of these Mitchell and Ness jerseys. So, but anyway, let's get back to this. So we got the, come on, camera, you can do it. We got the Mitchell and Ness tag, and then we have the care tag along with the size. So there would be no care tag inside the jersey because it's right there. So this is one of the things that, man, I was so scared I wasn't going to be able to fix it. You could see some of the damage right there. I mean, whoever owned it was like, they probably just didn't care, or it's because of the nature of the jersey. Because even when I put this thing on, it's bulky in the shoulders. Don't forget, 90s football jerseys and shoulder pads were huge. The Phil Simms jersey and this particular jersey, it's 2 layers, and it's thick. Now, there's a little bit of a color variation between the Simms jersey and this. I think maybe it was color corrected, or it's just because of the way it was manufactured. But it's as close as you can get to what Bavaro would have worn. But it's double layered, and I would assume that's because of the giant shoulder pads that they used to wear back in the day. And I think with the previous owner, because it happens with me sometimes where I wear this, the shoulder rubs up against the patch. So it was a little fuzzy. So I had to take a lint shaver and a beard and mustache trimmer and just lightly clean this, or clean it up to get all the pulls and fuzz off of there. And thank God I was able to get it to look like this. And you can see there's still a little bit of blue ink in there, but it's a lot better than what it was. Thank God the patch didn't get destroyed. But anyway, as you can see, like I was telling you about the differences between time frames, where the jersey was made, whether they got it accurate or not. This is one of those cases where you look at this jersey, it's tackle twill stitch, whereas it's supposed to be heat transfer. So, but still, it's an authentic jersey, but this is one of the jerseys where they obviously got it wrong. Then we look at the Sammy Baugh jock tag. Now, of course, there are many variants, of the Mitchell and Ness jock tags. So you guys can take a quick look at that. You could see how nice and clear 1990 New York Giants, Mark Bavaro. That Sammy Baugh looks amazing right there. And you got the NFL players tag on the side. Like I said, there is no care tag, or at least there shouldn't be a care tag, which would be correct. But I want you guys to see the stitching on the inside, how much care they took to put this jersey together. But like I said, there's no care tag because all the care information is right here behind the neck collar. And then we turn it around. We look at the nameplate, Bavaro. There's still a little bit of, fuzz. I don't really want to do any more shaving, so to speak, in quotes, because I don't want to tear apart the stitching that's on here. So eventually, over time, there's going to be pulls on this. It all depends on how you care for your jerseys and how you wash them. I tend to put mine in a wash machine on cold with Dreft or Woolite or some non-abrasive or non-aggressive laundry detergent. I won't use fabric softener because fabric softener can actually destroy jerseys like that Phil Simms one I just showed you. Because you got to remember, shampoos, detergents, etc. are surfactants, so they're more acid-based. And then you throw fabric softener in the wash machine that acts as a catalyst. It's a base. Now, if you don't get it right, well, you can actually screw up your jersey and screw up the numbers. This happens a lot with soccer jerseys. I used to be I still collect Bayern Munich jerseys. Most modern soccer jerseys all have heat press numbers or heat transfer numbers that are very thin. Unfortunately, where I live down here, they don't last for too long. Most of my jerseys usually have, as far as my soccer jerseys are concerned, have a 4 or 5 year shelf life because of the heat and the weather conditions down here, which makes me fear for that Sims jersey, which is why I don't wear it that often. But anyway, that's how I care for mine. I don't use fabric softener, and I don't put them in a dryer either. I let them hang dry. I let it go through the spin cycle, and if there are any little pulls on the twill, like I said, I'll take a old school beard and mustache trimmer. I actually bought one used from a flea market, so I just trim away all that stuff and clean it up a little bit. And I try to stay away from the threads, because if you look at the threads here on the tackle twill, one wrong move will cause these threads to just blow up, and I don't want that to happen. So I'm very careful with what I do. And plus, from Michael's, I bought a hobby set of scissors that are used for like stitching and all that kind of thing, and for embroidery and whatnot. So if I have to go in there, say like right here in the collar, if I have to cut off this one little string, I'd rather do that with one of them hobby scissors I bought than use a shaver on it. But the way I got this jersey, I mean, it was bad. It was really bad. But I'm happy to have it. It's an amazing jersey, and it fits true to size. It fits me well, especially like if I'm wearing an Under Armour long sleeve shirt. Now that it's starting to get cold, I can even get a hoodie underneath there. But it's just an incredible jersey. I mean, Bavaro himself was an amazing player, and this jersey really, really emulates, what he wore out in the field back in the day, and it's cool to see when the Giants pull out their retro jerseys. I think their uniform schedule only calls for them to wear it once this season, and they did that tonight against the Redskins. They're the Redskins. I'm always going to call them the Redskins. I don't care what anybody says. But, like I said, there's the modern version. That's the Daniel Jones Elite once again with the C patch. And the reason why I got the 3-star C patch, because, well, they just released this last year. So I wanted to emulate that with the proper C patch with the 3 stars from last season. So, but anyway, like I said, they really picked up, if you look at that, or even if you look at the Phil Simms Mitchell and Ness kit, which, like I said, I'll do a comparison with all 3 of these, or 2 of them, or whatever, somewhere down the road. But what I'm saying is that they really, really emulated the 90s jerseys quite well. The Nike Vapor. I mean, the materials are different and it's stretchy and all that stuff, but the look and feel of it, it's pretty cool. The only thing that they got wrong, if it wasn't for this Vapor here on the neck or on the collar, they crisscrossed it wrong. I don't know if you noticed that. That's one of those little stupid nitpicks that I'm sure a lot of you guys look at. See, that's the proper crisscross right there on the Phil Simms collar. And it's the same on that Bavaro right there. You can see the crisscross. So Nike got it wrong. It's supposed to overlap. But then again, like I said, they didn't complete the collar because of this Vapor material that's here. So they got it wrong, sort of. It's a nitpick. But anyway, there you have it, folks. The oddball, odd man out. Rare, at least I believe it's rare. I haven't seen these on eBay come up that often, at least this particular jersey. I always see a lot of fakes out there. And if I do see Mitchell and Ness Bavaro jerseys, I know they just released their legacy versions of several players recently. A friend of mine just picked up a Pittsburgh Steelers Hines Ward jersey, a legacy jersey. It actually looks really nice, but it's not made to be authentic like this one is, or the Simms, or the Jones Vapor. But it's a nice jersey. It has the look. It has the feel. It's got the shoulders. I mean, what is there to say? that hasn't been said about Mitchell and Ness jerseys at this point, but I thought you guys would enjoy seeing one of those rare ones that don't come around that often and is one of those odd man out jerseys. Anyway, folks, there you have it. Like, comment, and subscribe. I really appreciate you guys checking out the channel.